beIN Sports ekranlarında özel röportajlarımız devam ediyor ve Türkiye Sigorta Basketbol Süper Ligi'nin yine bu sezon iddialı takımlarından bir tanesi olarak izlediğimiz Fruta Extra Bursaspor koçu Dušan Alimpijević burada bizlerle birlikte. Coach, hello.
Hello, welcome in our city and in our facility.
Normally, I would like to say welcome, but then I hesitated and realized that I actually came into this brilliant facility of yours. We will go into that actually, but let me remind you, last time we talked, it was about a year ago, right? So you were on the verge of playing in the Euro Cup semi-final. Then you proceeded to the final, which was a historic season. Then you proceeded to the playoffs for the first time in club's history. And it was a brilliant season. Everybody talked about this. So I immediately come up with a question after that. I'm quite sure that many clubs asked about you, many clubs called you, many clubs inquired about you, national teams, maybe EuroLeague clubs, I don't know. But not only you stayed here, you extended your contract.
Yeah.
Why?
Sounds very nice when you say all the good things like this. You know, really, it sounds very nice when I hear from the side. It was historical and a great season in many ways. Like you said, for the first time playoff, this miracle semi-final in Euro Cup, and with some really good games during the season that we won again for the first time in history of this club against some teams. So not just that, as you said before I go to main part of your question, as you said, we also made an amazing job in organization. Our management did a great job. Our GM and the guys from the club, they did it really well, because this is not the same club comparing with 2 years ago and now, which also you could see when you came in our facility, which we will talk also a little bit about this. Not just that, fans came back to the gym. Now we have one of the
fiercest atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not just saying only for the Turkish as a country and Turkish standards. I'm talking about out of borders of Turkey. You know, I'm talking about all Europe, and I think that we are for sure in best 10 clubs with in terms of atmosphere in our gym. It's always packed, crowd atmosphere, and we really enjoy. Not just us. I think that all the teams who are coming to our gym also enjoying, and it's also kind of how to say, enjoyable for them to see it. After the season, when you mentioned, I had still contract with my club of Fruta Extra Bursaspor without buyout option. So yeah, it's normal that some clubs contact my agent, and this is normal thing in a sport after a season such we had last year with a lot of success. And of course it was some conversations with a couple of EuroLeague teams, and like you mentioned, some national teams even, you know, it was like, you know.
Yeah, this is news, I think.
Yeah. But, you know, you are fishing or not, but you know, it's true.
It's totally understandable.
Yeah.
It's very normal, as you said.
But actually, you know, I didn't have that buyout option, and as I said many times before, at least I could do it to thank to everybody in this club. It was to stay loyal and to show them my respect, because they show a lot of respect to me, and they support me in some really tough times for me personally, and in tough times for the club. We stayed together, we were like a family, still we are like a family, and all these things, not just on the court, I'm talking about out of court, are really special for me, and I didn't have any dilemma about this. I didn't even think for a second. This is one part of the question. The second part, we just started the season, we started well, and club again step out with a new idea to extend our contract, because in that moment I had still some clubs who were waiting me for the next seasons, and to use that option clause that I had, which means I had buyout after this season, but club wanted to keep me for at least one more, and I was happy, you know, because I'm happy in this city, I'm happy in this club, I'm happy with these people in a club, with our relationship, and really we built something special in the last 2 years. So result of that is that for sure I am this season here. I don't have again buyout option for the next season, and then after next season I will have buyout option.
Yeah, okay. It's good to have you for a long while. Personally, I think this season is very crazy in Basketbol Süper Ligi, the Turkish league. So it's good to have good coaches like you and ambitious coaches like you around here. So let's talk about the shift from last season to this season.
Yeah.
Very normally, again, some players had to leave the club. Kevari says, John Holland, Andrew Andrews, all went to EuroLeague teams.
Yeah, please don't forget during the season, sorry to interrupt you,
no,
but we have also Egemen Guven during the season to FS, also EuroLeague team. We had during the season Aleric Freeman to CSK, so it's 5.
Yeah. So you fill the gaps with pretty good additions. Zach August came, Clemens came, and now when we look at the team, can we say that maybe the balance of the team turned now into a more defensive, other than the offensive team last season that we saw?
We don't show this in last couple of games, but thank you to remind me that once we play a really good defense. On the beginning it was more. Like you said, we made a really good balance, but not just defensively, offensively also. I think that we made a great balance with domestic and foreign players. We show some, let's say, some courage as a club, as a team, as a coaching staff to start this season with only 4 foreigners, which I think on the beginning it was only case with Darüşşafaka, if I'm right. And don't forget that everything so far we did it with 4 foreigners. So we are in first of 5 clubs at the end of January, beginning of February, which I'm really proud on it. And somehow, suddenly, all of a sudden, to have a Bursa in first of 5, it becomes normal thing, which we have to agree that it's not a normal. When we compare all these budgets, also experience of other clubs, their history and their organizations also, because they are on this market many years more than us and before us. So we have to say that we are very satisfied. Now we have again Bursa with some standards, with some level that it's there, consistent level. And if someone said that Bursa will be in the first 4 to 5 teams before the season, I don't think so that someone will say, okay, I can guarantee it for 100%, because as you said, this year league is crazy, but in most positive way. You have a lot of good organizations and big budgets. They are out of playoff, or they are fighting for staying in the league even.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have to be satisfied. We are satisfied as a club because in a year that Turkish league is for sure second best in Europe, but not too behind of Spanish league. I think very close to Spanish league. For sure, we have to be satisfied. If you look at the games on the bottom, these teams can be in a second half of the season. They can be easily in playoff. Who can guarantee that one of these teams who has right now 6 or 7 wins that they will not be in playoff before Bursa. No one can guarantee this. League is very strong, players are very good. Financially, this league is, I think, very close to these best times of Turkish basketball. Thanks to Federation and President, they did a lot of good things in these years. So I really congrats to the Turkish Federation and their president for a great job in not just this, in all these years before.
Okay, to add up to the previous question, in my opinion, in a quasi-technical perspective, I think you intended to simplify a little bit the offensive actions. Like nowadays, we see a lot of handoffs and also pick and rolls designed for some players specifically, which we are about to talk as well, and more aggressive in the approach in defense. Like on-ball defense is very aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, basketball changed a lot in let's say, last 3, 4, 5 years. Comparing with 10 years ago, this is not anymore same sport, for sure. And as a coach, you have to adjust on these new needs of basketball. Same as players, this is the thing for the coaches as well. So, yeah, we adjust on this, and to be honest, me as a coach personally, I really like this tough basketball, chasing the players through the screens, over the screens, on ball screens, attacking in defense, not defending. This is, let's say, main approach of me. I don't like to defend of anyone, I like to attack with the defense. We are trying our best. Sometimes we are more successful in this, sometimes we are less successful in this. But we are trying, and we are pushing our limits in that way, for sure. We create that atmosphere that the defense is very important, but also in the same time, I pick up these players who has also quality and talent in offense. So before I choose any player in my team, and I will pick up any player in my team, for sure, first of all, I did my homework with their behavior out of court, on the court, work ethic. They are coachable or not, good for atmosphere in a locker room or not, IQ, getting information for the scouting, treating their body well or not, taking care about recovery period. So all these small or big things, call them however you want, are very important for me. So we choose these kind of players. We have one group of very good people here, for sure, on a first place. Good talented players who are ready to play defense. And we can say, this is the thing. Okay, we have what we have. Sometimes, as I said, sometimes we are more successful, sometimes less, but we are trying. So when we lose some games, I cannot be that much mad or angry on them, because I know they gave their best.
Yeah, just a conclusion question on this technical aspect. You have a very specific set where the two bigs pretend like they're coming out, then suddenly go in there and make pin down screens. I think you softened this kind of set this year. Is there a special name for this set? This is a signature set.
Look, you did great scouting for my team, So we have a lot of these sets with the fake moves, and then actually something is going on opposite side. But I mean, if I tell you name, it will be much easier for other teams to scout us, but even though they already know it. Today, in the 21st century, for sure, all these informations are very close to us. We can touch them very easily, very fast, and through all these scouting programs, now clubs, this is also one thing that I really respect this year in the Turkish League. You have a lot of teams with the good coaching staffs, so it's not only about the head coaches. You have a lot of good assistant coaches in Turkish League this year, and they are doing a great job. They are doing a great scouting for opponents, which is very important part of our job. So yeah, we have this with the fake one that you said. Two guys are coming like a fake one, they are going in the corners, and then we have these off-screen sets and continuation of this. It's not some secret, you know. I can tell you, but then, you know, opponent teams, they will have a name, you know.
No problems. Okay. I am quite sure that most of the viewers are expecting this question about Onur Akbitim. Because they see the level. Now the player has the ability. We all knew that he has talent and skill. But under your leadership, Onur Akbitim has changed into something else. So what is your assessment? I should stop speaking and you should talk about him.
Yeah, but I understand the need of you guys to ask for Onur Akbitim because, okay, we are in Turkey and we are talking about Turkish player, domestic player, who is one of the most dominant players, domestic dominant players in, let's say, you know this better than me, but for sure in the last 5-6 years we didn't have something like this. You have a lot of other good quality Turkish players in other teams. We have to also mention this. Quality of Turkish players are now on a higher level than also these close years before. About Onur Akbitim, this is a very simple thing, you know. Now it's easy to see him as a good player, but that process and the road wasn't easy like that, you know. We had our bad times, we have our nervous, we had, I mean,
disagreements
yeah,
at times.
I mean, cannot be disagreement with the player. I can only have a disagreement, you know. So he is the guy who is there to, you know, to work his job as best as he can. And if you ask me what is the biggest change, this is change of himself. So he changed his approach. He's more mature, he's more ready to listen, he's more ready to change his game. That is very important thing, and I'm all the time I'm repeating to my players, you have to be ready to change yourself. Because if you're not getting me to change you, what we are doing then you know, you can come, you will be the same player at the end of the season like before the season. So for sure this is very important thing. He allowed me to change him on a better way. Of course, he has some freedom here to show his talent, his abilities. He's one of the best athletic players in all over the Europe on guard position. He's the guy who can score in many different ways and options. And of course, something is coming with the confidence. So he has good confidence with us. We can say that he feels good also here with us, with this coaching stuff. And we gave him something first as a club. Because don't forget that GM brought him here. Mm-hmm. His agent said to him, I think this is a good place to go there. And then we gave him as a team also something. So club first, team, coaching staff and players. And for sure, this respect is a two-way street. So we have also respect and reaction from his side. Let's say that all these things in combination are result of him this season.
Yeah, you're also a humble coach. You always remind us that Nedim Yücel, the GM, also played a very big role, and you always work together in a harmonious way.
This is really important because, you know, us coaches, we lost ourselves, you know, on that road we can lose ourselves. We can think that we are the guys who did everything. This is not true, you know. Without good GM, without good coaching staff, without good management, good board members, relationship with the president and the sponsors, also very important thing for me. My coaching staff, and for sure at the end, but not less important, players and me, all together, we are here for result.
Yeah, of course. Onur Akbitim is a leader, but is not just one leader of the team, the single leader of the team. This team have time to time leaders like Nedim comes up, step forward, Clemens, Dujinski sometimes, and Zach August. That alley-oop, I think that was the wildest thing in such a scenario that I've seen in a basketball game for a while. And I saw your reaction. You were, totally crazy after the game.
Yeah. First, let's say I was crazy because we played this game without Cyber, who becomes very important player for us. His energy is precious for us. He also changed himself on a better way, much better. And now we have one more quality player that really means a lot to us. And we stay out of him before the game. During the game, we had two very bad injuries. It looked like very bad. Onur Albitim and Enes Taşkir.
Yes.
We have also problem with Derek Needham during the game, and and he finished out of game with the 5 fouls. So it was really emotional because we came from -18 with all these problems, just 12 minutes till the end. It was one of the craziest games I have had ever in my life. So that's why I was so crazy after, and these fans and all people in the gym, they push us to win that game. We mentioned leaders and no leaders, but please allow me to disagree with you. So yeah, Onur Alp, in terms of numbers and points, he's right now leader, by numbers. But this is not the thing how I put, on the table, on a paper.
This is not an assignment for him. Okay.
I want to say that we have, you will correct my English, is it the right expression to say we have a lot of these silent heroes?
Yeah, of course.
For example, you have Derek Needham, you have Anthony Clemens and Dave Dujinski, who are doing a great, amazing job in both directions. So don't forget that without their defense and their effort, most probably we will not have also Onur Alp on that level, because they are doing a lot of things defensively for the team. Then, not less important, when we go for other domestic players, we have Omer Utkual, Ahmed Duveroglu, we have Saibir, and we have Enes. We have 4 of these guys beside Onur Albitim. We have these 4 guys who are doing also amazing job. Okay, some of them, not just Turkish or domestic, because I'm not sharing players on domestic and foreigners, because for me, everybody are the same. For me, I'm sharing people on a good player, good person, bad person. So this is very simple thing with me. No religion, no skin color, no foreigner or Turkish. So for me, all of them are same. So if you deserve it on a court, you show me on a practice that you can play, then you are that main player. So I have to say for other domestic players, I'm really satisfied also. I'm also very satisfied with their effort, and they had some ups and downs for sure, because it's not easy with me in the first year, especially when you are coming from some let's say, environment that it was totally different than in our club. So, for example, from 4 of these, 3 are new players for this year, and it's their first season with me. Ahmed Duveroglu, Saibir and Enes, they have a first year with me. So also they need some time to adjust. Don't forget that Anthony Clemens, who is also, we have a lot of good games, but we cannot say that all games were perfect. This is his also first season with me. Dave Dujinski, Derek Needham, Onur Alpijević, they have Omer Utkual, they have, this is their second season with me. For sure it's a little bit easier for them than for the others.
Also, this is a team that it is hard to break into. Sinaris Tormel, for instance, couldn't, as far as I can see. But now you have Aubrey Dawkins, and who is an ex-teammate of Clemens, Anthony Clemens. So what do you expect from him?
So, to be honest about Dawkins, we were chasing him even before we finished last season, because we wanted to build the team on time with the good people, with the good players. we call him, but we got an answer that he wants to go in G League and he wants to try to go in NBA through the G League. So I also worked there in a summer league with San Antonio. He was with Chicago, I think. We saw each other there. We talked, and then I saw desire that he wants to try. There is no chance that he wants to come immediately, come back to Europe and to try before he tried to NBA. So we were patient with this. We were ready to wait for a good person and good player. And finally, I think we got it. We got a good person, we got a good player who will help us a lot. We are ready to have even some better games than before.
In the beginning, that Frutexa Bursaspor is a whole different club right now, because this facility is your training facility, for instance.
Yeah.
Can you summarize me about this maybe transformation?
Yeah. Thanks to our management, president, GM, and for sure sponsors. But let's say that GM was the guy who pushed a lot importance of facility and to have house like this. For me personally, this is very important, and that was a thing that from the first day we talked about, that this is our dream, and I really spend a lot of time in a gym, in my office, and I like to feel nice and comfortable in a house that I'm spending a lot of time. This is like with your family house, you know. You like to be some good, nice environment that, I mean, at the end of the day, you are there. You spend most of the time there. So the same thing is for me here. So we go slowly, and we came to that point that right now we have this amazing court with all these recovery rooms. They build very nice. This is like a high-level standards for recovering. On the next floor, with a very nice lifting room, with all offices for the coaches. On the third floor now you have a kitchen that all the players from a youth program or senior players, they can eat 3 meals there if they want. You have rooms for the youth categories, meeting room, and really I think that this is something special and important for every serious club. So that's why we can say that this is not anymore same club like before.
Yeah. Okay, my last question is the most intriguing question for me. Last season, yeah, you pulled up a miracle and you managed to make it to the final all the way in various games abroad. This season you have the chance to make it a top 4 in the Euro Cup group, and you know, potentially can play in the quarters or maybe in the later stages of the final at your home.
Yes.
What's your feeling about that?
Actually, we wanted this. This is what we wanted to be, and we will try to be in the first 4 to try to have at least that first game. After that, everything is easier, but the first game is very important in playoff. So we will try to be in the first 4 in first stage in groups. One thing is now very obvious for us. We weren't aware of our success until we started Euro Cup, because now everybody are very hot when they play against us. They are very motivated when they play against us. Also, our gym is a special place for everybody. Yeah. I think that even people from the side, they play in empty gyms at their home. They are more hot on that atmosphere than if it's empty, for example. So I said to the players also one thing. Look, last year it was only 2 teams in a final. One of these 2 teams are now in the Euro League. Second best from the last year is in Euro Cup now. So we have to be aware that now it's much more difficult than before, than year before, because now no one look at Fruti Extra Bursaspor as underdogs. Now we are the team who was in the final. Yeah. Everybody dreamed that dream of fairy tale and you know the story from the last year. So we showed them that you can dream. Why not? You have right to dream. So they want to show this first against us. So it's much more difficult, which we can feel on every game. But I can promise to our fans and our community for sure that we will try our best to be in the first four, or to be, because we cannot talk about playoff still because we are not mathematically 100% in playoff.
So I wish you good success for the Euro Cup, for the rest of the Türkiye Basketball Super League, the Turkish League, and also the Cup. There are always so very intensive games to play, and it's been a pleasure to talk with you as it always.
Thank you. Pleasure is all mine. Really, I enjoy every time when we have some interviews. Thank you one more time for coming in our gym and saving my time instead to come in Istanbul in your studio. Thank you really for coming in our city and our club.
beIN Sports ekranlarında konuğumuz Dušan Alimpijević'ti. Frutti Extra Bursa Spor Koçu bize geçen seneden bu seneki gelişimleri, değişimleri, kulübün transformasyonunu, tesis olarak ilerleyişini anlattı ve bu seneki hedeflerinden bahsetti. Tabii ki özel röportajlarımız devam edecek. Kendisine başarılar diliyoruz. Tekrar görüşmek üzere. Hoşça kalın.